I'm just pressing live now, so somebody can do a sound check, mic check. Shalom, shalom. Are you live, Marala?
Yeah, Marala is always seeming to go fast.
Yeah. Okay. Do you have confirmation? Let me know. That's good. We good.
All right, contact. Shalom, shalom. We are the brothers of the Great Millstone, Chicago branch with an honored brother, mighty brother Tazawan from the Wisconsin campus. And first and foremost, we want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rukakadash. Double honors into the apostles, double honors to the elder bishops. Salutations to all our fellow laborers that's doing this work in truth and sincerity. Sincere shalom to the scattered elect that are scattered among the heathens that look like the heathens, the Israelite foreigners, and to the few sisters that are listening to the Akwath. And as you see, the title of the lesson is double speak. And as a matter of fact, I'd like to open up with that definition of double speak. And it's matter of fact, somebody could find it in another. I would like to hear a couple, but this is double speak in a dictionary, Oxford Languages, and it says deliberately used for ambiguous or obscure language, the art of political double speak. So ambiguous means you don't know what it is. All right, and so I looked up that word obscure because I knew what ambiguous meant. So and obscure, also from the same dictionary, it says not discovered, unknown about, uncertain. All right, to keep from being seen, concealed. So how can you have a whole political plan?
That's right.
And then you're speaking with double speak, because double speak, from what I just learned, because I'm gonna do a lesson on this later on, Yahweh Ratazah. But double speak is mainly used by language experts within the government. This is what they do. And we've been telling you this all along. You could also connect double speak to new speak, all right? By changing the meaning of words and definitions. And I'm going to give you the perfect example of double speak. And that's simply the word black.
Absolutely.
Because they'll put black and name it as a race of people, this, that, and the other. But then again, all of a sudden you hear black and it's the Black Day, the Black Night, the Black Event, the Black Death, right? So black has all this negative connotation to it, but yet they also push a doctrine to what black is beautiful,
right? Because
they label in a certain people of that. So that's a perfect example of double speak, because it has two meanings. And then the guy, the double speak expert, who's this Oxford trained, he was at Oxford or Harvard, one or the other, person who now works in the government, who also taught as a professor, and they had double speak classes, and he said this is the language that the government speaks in. All right,
I got two real quick.
But he said that if you're within the realm of the governments of the world, or any professional scale, if you do not speak in double speak, you will never be taken seriously.
Absolutely.
I was like, what the? And people still not going to get the power of what I just said.
That's right, brother.
All right, and this is who's ruling over us. Somebody put it up on the. We got next Mac put it up too. But go ahead, read.
I got two real quick. This is just before what you just said. This is Deuteronomy 28, and it says was it 48? Yes. Therefore thou shalt serve thine enemies, which the Lord power shall send against thee, in hunger and thirst and nakedness and want of all things, and he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he destroy thee. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand.
Wow.
That's that double speak. They speak in such, and we call it legalese. It's a couple of different names. And you go into a courtroom and you'll say something and don't even know what you're saying because there's a double speak behind it. So you just actually enter into a trap.
You can demand, as a matter of fact, you can demand that your judge not speak in double speak. And then you know what that does when you go in the courtroom? It makes them very nervous.
Yep.
Because now they have to, you tell them, would you please hold? And this is information for any of you brothers and any of you listeners. You have to go before a court of law. When they're speaking, you can demand that your judge and the lawyers and the court officers speak in plain English, and please do not speak and hold my proceeding in legalese.
Yep,
And it actually makes them a little nervous because they
Mhm.
figure, oh shit.
because now he's somebody who
What-
know
right.
what how much you
Uh-huh.
know, what you know. And if you did that, and it's a whole bunch of other people in other cases, they most likely
They're gonna
gonna
make you go
hold your
last.
case
They're
to
gonna
the
hold your
end.
cash.
Yep. We've seen
And they're
that.
gonna
They've
try to
done,
make you go last.
yep, they've done it
Because
to
they
us.
don't want the other people to hear. Because why? The
It's on
law
record.
and the court system is all use legalese and doublespeak.
Mhm. And it's on record. So once the proceedings start, it's on record, and then they can get caught up for
Mhm.
not abiding by that record. This is Psalms 55 and 20. He hath put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He hath broken his covenant. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet they drawn swords. All right. So how some your words so sweet and so smooth, but it's a knife ready to stab somebody in the back. That's that double speak.
Glistening sword shining.
Yeah.
Bring that definition back to the brother we got.
Okay,
we got
Con.
Max put up. I saw that
Mac,
he
yeah,
wrote
we got Mac.
a version of it as well.
Double speak is language that deliberately obscures, disguises, distorts, or reverses the meaning of words.
Wow.
Double
You
speak.
hear that? That's basically legalese.
Mhm.
All right, in the courtroom. But go ahead.
Mhm. Double speak may take the form of euphemisms, in which case it is primarily meant to make the truth sound more palatable. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's from Wikipedia.
And then the brother
That's from Wikipedia.
That's from Wikipedia. I had it pulled up too. That's from Wikipedia.
Okay.
but
that's pretty much
Yeah.
everything that I pulled up.
Mm-hmm.
So in this case, Wikipedia was on point, and this one broke it down even better.
Is it? And Brother Benaiah Lloyd said freedom equals slavery. That's his example of a double speak.
Wow.
That's absolutely right.
Yeah, brother on point.
I got a precept.
Bring it out, brother.
This is Sirach 20:13. Curse the whisperer and the double tongue, for
That's
such have destroyed many that were at peace.
Perfect.
Ooh,
Perfect.
So, hey,
Read that
man,
again.
It's Esau.
Right, that's all his MO is being a liar and purposely deceitful.
Could you quote that and read that again?
Sirach 28:13. Curse the whisperer and the double tongue,
Perfect.
for such have destroyed many that were at peace.
Mhm.
That's a heavy.
That's that double tongue. Yeah. That's you having an ulterior fucking motive, man. You had something?
Yeah, this is Psalms 10 and 7.
That's the spirit. I got that.
His mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud, and his tongue is mischief and vanity.
Yes.
He sitteth in the lurking places of the villages, in the secret places doth he murder the innocent. His eyes are privily set against the poor.
That's it. And he's doing it behind the scenes. He's doing it in private, but his outward action is getting your ass. That's like they don't go to bed without what's that scripture?
Proverbs 4.
Right. Somebody get that real quick. This is a matter of fact, I got it here. Proverbs 4 right in front of my face. I was going to get verse 2 though. This is Proverbs 4 and 2. O ye sons of men, how long will you turn my glory into shame? How long will ye love vanity? And this is Psalms 4, Salakia. O ye sons, so you can get the Proverbs, my bad. O ye sons of men, how long will ye turn my glory into shame? How long will ye love vanity and seek after leasing? Salah. If you go into that word leasing in the Hebrew, it's 3577. The Hebrew word kazab. Kazab. Leasing is a lie, an untruth, falsehood, a deceptive thing.
How long will you love lying?
And deceptive and deceit.
And what was that that you had brought out in the beginning? It was something.
Definition?
It was something you was reading that said the art of,
Oh, let me go back.
because
That was in the first definition. Let me grab it. Let me go back.
I got a precept.
Go ahead, brother.
It's Psalms 50, and I'll start at 16 and read down to 20. It says,
Of course.
But unto the wicked, Yahweh saith, what hast thou to declare my statutes, or that shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth? Seeing thou hatest instruction, and castest my words behind thee. When thou sawest a thief, then thou consentest with him, and hast been partaker with adulterers. Thou givest thy mouth to evil, and thy tongue frameth deceit. Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother, thou slanderest thy own mother's son.
Mm-hmm.
relies on us. He got, main thing, takeaway of this week about that shooter is he kept saying how this man was sharing his opinion through YouTube videos, which that's him, propping up for him to be able to frame us, and say, hey, look, this is what they do. Look, anybody that that has these kind of views or extremes, shouldn't have access to influence, because that's basically what they're doing, man. Esau,
Done.
even though he kills, even though he's the one even though he makes guns, even though he's he's that bad guy, he's really that guy, but he's framing you, and and
He
that's
give
why-
you the guns in one place and then give you the bullets in another place.
And then go to the Lord and say, look what he's doing.
It's just
Yes.
like he'll allow you,
Yes.
like he'll make things for sale that you could buy, and then once you buy those things, once you buy them and put them together, now it's illegal.
Yeah.
This is the person. If that ain't double speak, I don't know what it is, but it was the art of political double speak.
The art,
That was in the definition.
the art of political doublespeak.
Yes.
Now, the art, one of the definitions of art is any field using the skills or techniques of art. So it's a skill. He has a skill. He used techniques, all right, to deceive you, right?
Through his language, through his lingo. You know what I'm saying?
And it's an art. It's a skill.
And that's why the guy
It's a
said you
skill.
won't be taken serious in the business world or within the world, the court of law if you don't use that.
You see?
That's why he said that.
Yeah, if you don't have those skills, if you don't know those techniques, all right, because again, part of the blessing of Esau Edom is the art of deceit.
The serpent in the garden.
And I have the definition, just a regular definition of deceit. It says the act or practice of deceiving, concealment or distortion of the truth
Damn.
for the purpose of misleading, for the purpose of duplicity. All right, and duplicity, you go on that definition, and
Well,
of
like
course,
black, that break down the black. You label a people black, and which is how you categorize them, and then use the art of political deception against them. But then on the flip side of that, you're trying to push this as a culture that is a good thing.
Black history. Look at all what the
Eh,
black people did for you. Black
exactly.
History Month.
All right.
yeah,
And I got another definition when you're done.
so
Because I clicked on what you on that, and it gave me this. But go ahead.
okay, so the definition of deceit, one of the definitions is duplicity. All right, and that's that double tongue, double speak. It says deceitfulness in speech or conduct, as by speaking or acting in two different ways to two different people concerning the same matter.
Wow.
Double dealing.
Yep.
Double dealing,
Being all things to all men.
Which
huh?
means they just outright lying, man. I clicked on it and it gave me a definition of double speak from the Merriam-Webster, and it says pretty much what you said. It said language used to deceive, usually through concealment or misrepresentation of truth. And this is what they do on the dudes. They're doing it right now in Ukraine.
Yep,
They did it all along with the seed stuff,
And it said
with the thing that they were putting in people.
you said
so-
I'm sorry.
That's all they were doing exactly this.
Yeah, but you said a word, concealment.
Concealment or misrepresentation of the truth. When you got something that the cure is actually causing more death and destruction to people, to their health, than the actual problem is,
That's
but
democracy.
yet you pushing that the people who didn't get the cure are the problem.
Yeah.
That's double speak.
Hey, Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, and he covereth, all right, he conceals, all right, he distorts the truth, all right, and so you can be deceived, and now you believe in a lie.
Yeah, it's a term lie about omission. You lie about omission. So because you say one thing, but you don't put the whole thing in there, you lie because you didn't say this part, because you have a full understanding of it.
Right.
And that word ambiguous, that was one definition for double speak, was ambiguous. I looked up ambiguous. And it's open to more than one interpretation, not having one obvious meaning. You know, so they leave
So I
stuff
gotta-
out.
Yeah.
So you can put together your own.
Conclude.
They lead you this way, said this way,
Right.
and let you decide. Oh, this is what he must mean.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
instead of just a
Your own
direct
deduction.
answer.
Right.
And that's this Matthew 5:37. But let your communication be yeah, nay,
That's it.
whatsoever is more than these cometh of evil. And that's what they talk about this in movies, everything. Like they talk about politicians. They show them you can't just answer this. No, you gotta basically they'll give a long speech, say, but you still haven't answered my question.
Right.
That's a big thing with politicians. They never really answer the
I
question.
watched a show
I gotta play this.
where a guy clearly didn't get educated on the double speak thing. And I'm probably, Yahweh Tazah, I will use that clip in the video when I do it. But basically, you can see the shock and the look of horror on the news broadcasters who were questioning him as he began to just talk, because clearly they didn't tell him to use doublespeak. Everything he was saying
Look clean, huh?
which basically he was exposing everything.
Perfect.
He was like, well, this is wrong with this and this is wrong with that. And the news broadcasters are like looking at each other like, this Mike, shut
Hey,
tell that nigga to shut up, man. But he was letting them,
We're
and it
having
was
technical
all,
difficulties.
yeah, there you go, man. And clearly he didn't, and then the guy said, and the guy who was commentating on
He ain't gonna be on NBC no more.
right, the guy that was commentating said, he said, you know what? And that was the first and the last time I've ever seen this news anchor. He right, because he wasn't, they didn't, hit him to the. He just came out there. No, this is the problem. This is the problem.
He was a real news.
Yeah, and the other people, he was doing real news, and the other people were looking at him like,
Is that what we do?
yeah, because they gave him the floor. They asked him a
Yeah.
question and gave him the floor. He was like, well,
And
you
got you.
and then they were like,
Can I play this?
absolutely.
Okay.
Coming out for the ridiculous. And tonight there's a mini scandal brewing in Florida over campaign style by Governor Rick Scott. 2 weeks ago, the governor was campaigning for re-election in Tampa with a group of uniformed law enforcement officers lined up behind him. There you see the picture. The problem is it's illegal in Florida for public employees to participate in campaign events on the clock or in uniform, and an official complaint has been filed with the state. Now, as political scandals go, look, this is not Watergate. It's more of a bite-sized brouhaha. The question is, did the governor's office know if the policemen were on duty or off duty? It's really much a duty about nothing. But we want to show you how the governor is handling questions about it, because this is where the duty hits the fan. It's a great example of the time-honored political tradition of saying a whole bunch of stuff without ever answering the question, no matter how many times the question is asked. All politicians do it, but this really is a masterclass. Take a look.
He said this is a master class.
Do you really think that all of those deputies were off duty?
I'm very proud that last week the police chiefs endorsed me. I'm very proud that 40 sheriffs have endorsed me. I'm very proud of all the support from the law enforcement. We're at 43 years old in our crime rate. So we invite them to our campaign events, and I'm very appreciative of the ones that came.
But did you think it was a problem to have on-duty law enforcement there?
I'm very appreciative of both their support and those that come to my events. You didn't answer that question. Should there be discipline? Look, I'm appreciative of everybody comes to my events. And gosh, we're 43 years old in our crime rate. We should be very supportive of our law enforcement.
Is it okay for them to be there?
He smiled even harder. And he stared at
I'm
him.
very appreciative. Our police chiefs
Like, Nick
endorsed
Suit's
last
camera
week.
go off
It's
and
okay.
stab.
40 sheriffs did. We have
That's art right
come to variety events.
That's
I'm
art.
very appreciative
That's
of
an
anybody
art.
that comes to events, supports my rights.
I am very appreciative.
I got two
But,
questions.
pause it for a second. We watched that for 2 years with Dr. Fauci.
Right.
Yes.
For 2 fucking years, the same thing.
Mhm.
The same. And then him doing it. This is in Psalm 64:8. And it says, so that they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves.
That's it.
All that see them shall flee away. Nobody want to deal or listen to you devils anymore.
Oh, the ratings of CNN, because the Charles Ryan mentioned it. Yeah, he talking about them double speaking. Nigga, that's all you do on the screen. That's all you prognosticators. Though he's a prognosticator. He's a what? To go to your astrologers and prognosticators. All you motherfuckers telling the Esau's future. That's what these media motherfucking. Because you gotta understand, this ain't no regular news show. This is a commentary. This is editorial. This is what I want you to be aware of. Look, this is Esau wanting you to be aware of. All right.
Matter of
Same
fact, I got a
fucking
precept too. Can I bring that real quick? This is going into that same chapter, Psalm 64, and 2, because this is what we, and this is what you had it too. Well, go ahead and read it, brother, because this is what we're looking to get away from.
That's right.
By the Lord giving us the understanding, you know, and giving us the wisdom to see this stuff as it's happening, and then turn around and do edifying lessons so that the flock can see it, man.
Right.
Okay, or even some of our enemies see it.
That's it.
Matter of fact, we know that particular of our enemies are watching because they're gonna try to, you know, counter it.
That's it. That's it.
This is Psalm 64:2. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked,
Mm.
from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, who whet their tongue like a sword.
Mm.
Esau's tongue is sharpened. It's an art. You know, his tongue is a weapon to deceive, man.
That's it.
A sharp weapon. You know, and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect.
Whew.
Suddenly they do shoot at him, and fear not. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privily. They say, "Who shall see them?"
Haman Malone,
That's it. That's
Mr.
that.
Vocab Malone,
No bars, Malone.
right? No bars, no precepts, right?
Well, speaking of him, I got to hit the next verse. They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search. He brought a book that the elders didn't even know about Abba Bivens. He did real research about that book, man. Con. Right. The rappers, he mentioned some shit from grade school with the rappers. Hey, how do you know this? Are you the fans? Like, no, I'm Nardwuar. It's my job. That's vocab, man.
Wow.
The elders didn't even know about this book, man. They commune, they search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search. Both the inward thoughts of every one of them and the heart is deep.
Right.
But the Most High shall shoot at them with an arrow. Suddenly they shall they be wounded.
Right.
So you doing your job. You the devil. You deceiving. End of the day, the Lord's gonna destroy you, man. Vocab, the Lord's gonna destroy you, man. All the bullshit you call yourself doing, man, you're gonna get judged for it.
Right.
You're speaking against the Lord. You know, happily shall you be the fight against the Most High. That's what you're doing, man.
Yeah, they got a couple over there too. Go ahead.
They got.
Okay, this is Ecclesiastes 10:12. The words of a wise man's mouth are gracious, but the lips of a fool will swallow up himself.
That's it.
Man, that's the dude who trips and falls on his own sword.
Exactly.
Whoops.
Right.
You-
Ran himself too.
and like you said, you go into a court of law and tell them, could you not use legalese? You tell them you need to be gracious. You need to speak on the up and up when it comes to me, so I can understand exactly what's being said. Plainly, gracious, so everybody can understand what's being said. But we can't do that shit.
No, they by law they're supposed to do it, but more than likely they're gonna make you go last
Exactly.
when everybody else is done. All right, but bring out the precepts, you brothers.
Yeah, this is 2 Thessalonians 2:8. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth. That's the prophets.
Mm.
So we got like Benji said, it's an art. We have an art too. We have the spirit of the Lord, so we can see through it. A lot of people of the world can't. It says, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness.
All deceivableness.
Of unrighteousness in them that perish. So the people of the world that are set to perish, they're going to believe the deceitfulness of Esau, the
That's
double
it.
speak, the double talk, the snake.
And
I was gonna say, well, that's why the precept says, if our gospel be hid, is hid unto them that are lost. But for the God of this world has deceived them, has blinded them.
that's right.
You know,
that word lost in the Greek, it means perishing. You go into the definition, it means perishing, or damned to eternal condemnation in hell, or something like that, which is really destruction. You know. But it says, this is a little bit more. It says, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth that they might be saved.
Right, right.
But like you said, all deceivableness, that goes back to what Yak was saying earlier about the art form.
Right.
Like I said, whether it's speech or art, like I said, the paintings, all this other kind of stuff, the whole deal, everything.
I got to put an example up there. This is I'm not gonna play it, but this is off of Mancow's show, radio show, whatever. But he's showing he's a bombshell. Obama trained by Harry Lennox. Right. It's common knowledge.
I used to bounce in one of his clubs.
It's common knowledge behind the scenes that Barack Obama was trained by the actor Harry Lennox. His whole speech style, his whole how he speaks, his demeanor, his posture, the whole nine. They went in because Barack did not have that naturally. Matter of fact, he learned. Going back to what you said, it's an art. He's been trained. These actors, these politicians, these elites.
It's a Reagan came from Hollywood.
They call it the theater of war.
Remember Reagan?
The political theater.
Ronald Reagan's one of the most famous presidents in American history.
And Zelensky.
And he came from Hollywood.
And Zelensky was and Ukraine.
Yeah.
He was an actor, and he was just a little less than 10 years ago being an actor. So Trump had his own. He had his own TV show.
Trump was on the WWF.
He had his own TV show, The Apprentice, man.
He survived the stunner.
You know what I'm saying?
He got his own stunner on TV. Trump the GOAT.
Damn, so no, he the GOAT, man. He survived the stunner. Go ahead, bro.
This is Isaiah chapter 5, verse 20. It says, "Woe unto them that call evil good, and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter." And so, just like we were saying on the line yesterday, how what Esau Edom does is a means to an end. So he'll do some good to get to evil. Ultimate, you know what I'm saying?
When he does good, it's by accident.
Right,
I was
right.
bring that up.
He'll tell you a few good directions, but he'll like we were saying, if there is one way, there's one way to a destination. Let's say that destination is salvation. All right. And now to get to this destination of salvation, there's only one route to take. So you need the precise, exact direction to get there.
Not one wrong direction.
Not one wrong. So he'll give you a few right ones. So that's the few good tenets he gave you to make what you involved with seem like it's good. You know what I'm saying? But ultimately, you're not getting to your destination because he sends you off with other things that's actually a lie. Just like that Edomite who was known as the serpent, you know, they weren't known as Edomites yet, but that went in subtly to Eve. So he told her, "You should surely not die." You're right. You should surely not die. There go the lie. But then he told some truth, like, "Oh yeah, you gonna be as good gods, knowing good and evil." That's right. So while he gave some truth. But it was right. So he was enticing, enticing, subtle, because just like you think about it, that straight gate. But guess what? On the right hand is a fire, and on the left is a deep water. But things are in there that's alluring. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, hey, come on, this is good. Look how pretty I am. Right?
Woman in the red dress.
I'll give the evil say, "I'll give you $100 to get $100,000 back."
I got two for you.
Okay,
This is
and I got
Rock
one after
14
you.
and 7. I'm sorry, 6. There is none worse than he that envieth himself, and this is a recompense of his wickedness, and that goes to the curse that was put on the serpent. He should go upon his belly. He goes after he desires. He's covetous. He can never be satisfied.
Right.
He's envious of himself. His portion is not enough. He wants more.
Yeah, death. Oh, it's insatiable.
Yep. That says he's as the grave.
Yep.
And the Proverbs tell you the grave can never be satisfied.
That's it.
And if he do it good, he doeth it unwillingly. And at the last, he would declare his wickedness. So Esau do some shit.
Right.
But it's a means to it, man.
Yeah.
Means to it. It's a purpose.
Right.
I got one more. This 2 Corinthians 11:14. And no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. He's going to present himself as a good guy.
Right.
All right. Everything is about it's all for good, for peace.
Right.
You know what I mean? Why you get fucked up?
Right. 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 That's how you go. Right. Love. And he tell you, right, he tell you those those words, all right?
Yeah, yeah.
To love one another.
That's the best example of double speak right there.
You know what I'm saying?
Esau comes with all this peace and love,
Love,
shit,
right.
but it's the ways of death. Oh, you against the wickedness of sodomy. Well, you don't. Yeah, that's hate.
Yeah,
That's hate.
exactly.
You gotta accept them. You gotta love them too. Don't they deserve love? Well, me rebuking them is love.
Right.
That's only destroying the earth. All right,
It's
allowing
death.
that is destroying it. Yeah.
It's death.
And not just their personal death, like literally the earth gets afflicted because of that.
Hey,
It says the earth is mourning because of the habits thereof, because the law was transgressed, man.
there was a report in was it Australia, I think, that it was one of them damn countries that they're telling it's not the country, it was Florida, but they're telling the homosexual men out in Florida that there's a high number of meningococcus, whatever that meningococcus, I don't know how to fucking say that damn word, but they're blaming it on the and they're actually telling them, like, no, take this stabby wab that's specifically for the meningococcus, I can't, whatever, and so
The gay
forth.
disease.
There you go, the gay disease. And this is Florida. This is Florida telling them, releasing to their public, anybody coming to Florida, homosexuals, to come to spring break, get this V'd up, because this is a pandemic basically that's going on against the male homosexuals in Florida. But just to back you up, to say, when you do things contrary to the Heavenly Father, that is what brings those diseases and them curses. In Deuteronomy 28, he said, I'm gonna bring you diseases that's not mentioned in the Bible. I'm gonna bring you shit that you ain't gonna even get.
And that's real death. That thing you just died, man. Death affects everything.
Yes.
Man.
If I may, like, he'll allow you, it's like, okay, you can be free.
Ooh, I gotta
You know what I'm saying? You could be free. They use the word, oh, you're free.
Freedom.
See, but what it is, oh, you're free to die.
Yeah.
He didn't tell you that.
Right.
You know, right.
Freedom.
Yeah. They free to die as opposed to being under the law of life. Because to live, it's a law to life. And if you transgress life, you die.
Yeah.
See, but they'll just say, you know what? You're free. But they'll just tell you that. They don't tell you.
You just labeled that's democracy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Bible Israel. This is 2 Peter 2:19.
That's what it is.
While they promised them liberty,
Go ahead. No, I'm just saying.
this is 2 Peter 2:19. While they promised them liberty, they themselves are the servants of corruption, for whom a man is overcome, of the same he is brought in bondage. So Esau pushed that life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. Meanwhile, you got to subject. What is the freedom, man? You got to subject yourself to us. Yep. You can't leave the country unless we allow you to leave the country. You have to follow all of our fucking ways. You got to pay taxes on your property that you paid off. On your property you paid off, you owe us taxes. But you're free because we allow you to do whatever wickedness comes to your heart. You're not free to do righteousness, but you're free to do whatever your heart desires.
Yes.
As long as it's wicked.
Yes.
That's the liberty they give you. That's double
Perfect
speak,
time
man.
for that.
That's it.
Because that's that democracy.
Yes,
Because that everything the both you just explained was democracy.
life, liberty, pursuit of happiness.
That destruction that comes with it. Because it's physical destruction, and then it's destruction of ways of life, to destruction of culture.
that will immediately.
You can actually go ahead and let him play, brother.
There is
No,
nothing
let
more
him
harmful
speak
than
first.
white Christian love. Nothing more dangerous than white Christian love. And no hate is comparable to white Christian love.
Say one thing that will immediately make white American conservatives upset.
There is nothing more harmful than white Christian love. Nothing more dangerous than white Christian love. And no hate is comparable to white Christian love.
No hate. Comparable.
Say one thing
And
that
if
will
you go back into
immediately-
history to vet what you just said, we can go talk about many things Esau's done in the name of God, in the name of
Every intersection where Esau crossed other people was met with this love double speak,
Yes.
with this white Christian love, which was full of hate, death, destruction, rape, robbery, and murder.
I got an example.
Every crossroad, every intersection, every point in history where the Edomites met with another culture. They went to the Canary Islands and left. What happened? A lot of women were raped, a lot of men were killed, and they left them full of gonorrhea and syphilis.
That's right. And everywhere they go.
When they didn't have that,
Mhm.
That's the part.
their bodies had
Yeah.
Their idols didn't even know what that was about.
Exactly.
No immune system.
See,
Right.
I got an example. This is First Maccabees, the first chapter, 1:29.
I've been trying to get
Oh, but then you gotta know that. You gotta go.
You got to go
So you'll get he can you know. Go ahead,
No,
brother.
you've been holding
Because
it.
you've been holding it. That's the spirit. Bring it up. Because I've been holding it too. The three of us been
I
holding
see
it.
you with your pipe. I knew through the spirit what you meant.
But once again, that only happens among the men of the Lord.
That's right.
That does not happen in other camps, man. You watch their videos, you never see that happen, man. Yeah, that's very true. It's very rare that you hear more than one person bring out a precept.
I got two real quick because this probably goes to that first Maccabees. The Proverbs 12:20 says, "Deceit is in the heart of them that imagine evil, but to the counsel of peace is joy." All right, that double speak is really just a trap for them to go ahead with their agenda. Man, I love a dictionary, bro. All right, so this is First Maccabees 1:29. And after 2 years fully expired, the king sent his chief.
And I had that on deck too.
That's the spirit, man.
First Maccabees 1:29. After 2 years fully expired, the king sent his chief collector.
So now you got to remember the king was Antiochus Epiphanes at this time, right? And and Antiochus Epiphanes was known to be one of the most hateful, wickedest, and most how bad he did the Israelites during his reign is. What has been written and showed to us, he's one of, if not the top.
He was a fucking monster.
Amongst
man, the Lord fuck him up in the air.
Yes, right. That's right. And that's why we gotta hope that. That's it.
He's getting ready to fuck these mics up. The scripture, hey, it said 1,000 times more. 1,000 times more. They getting ready to get it, man.
That's it.
You read Daniel right now?
No, he read First Maccabees.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna start again. First Maccabees 1:29. And after the 2 years were fully expired,
Daniel 8.
Daniel 8:25.
the king sent his chief collector of tribute unto the cities of Judah, who came to Jerusalem with a great multitude, and spake peaceable words unto them, but all was deceit.
Wait. He spoke what kind of words?
Peaceable.
So hey, how y'all doing? I got a troop of 1,000 of them. Don't mind us. We just passing through. Matter of fact, we was on our way.
All those armed men with spears.
Yeah, we were just passing through.
Circus.
Yeah, it's the circus, and we about to go kick it over there. And this is the fastest way to get there. So never mind, y'all. There's nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. And he proceeded on to now what did he say? Peaceable words and what else? But all was what?
Deceit.
See, that's that double speak. Go ahead. So that's the root of Esau, to tell you something. Oh, everything's good, but in and behind you, I'm got you goodly fucked up.
And this is who in power right now.
Yes.
All right. So when you expose the one who's in power, when you expose this double speak, when you're about righteousness, and they in power, and they ultimately about wickedness, you best believe they're gonna call you a hate group. They're gonna call you a cult. They're gonna demonize you.
What we doing right now is studying out about Shimon Shai, right?
Land back
The
off
brother
what
brought out
y'all
what
just
it
said.
is. Thessalonians by revealing
We the cat.
revealing by the spirit of his mouth. What we're doing right now is technically treason.
Right, yes.
What we're doing is basically, when you look at treason, we're basically coming up against a government.
Yep.
We're coming up against a system that we're a part of.
Yep.
So it's like we're traitors to the system.
Yeah.
Treason.
We the infamous in this.
Yep.
Yep.
And by treason, there's penalties. Prison, there's death.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So this is
I don't
what
know. It might be
the prophets have to face
Yeah.
in Babylon.
That's why the elder Malcolm, he always starts his videos out with shalom to the bros who risking their lives and freedom to do so. That statement he ain't just saying that. That's really for real.
Look at the nigga that released the WikiLeaks. He
Right.
had to go on the run.
Snowden.
Still on the run.
For telling the truth, for showing where there were crimes against humanity and war crimes were created, were done, and instead of addressing the crime, they did the same thing that devil did.
But
I'm happy that they were able to. I'm happy.
I'm saying.
It's like, but we got it on videotape when they were murdering people again. We're happy that they were able to do their jobs. You know.
But Esau the devil, because he'll put in his movies though. He'll put it in his movies that the government is corrupt. Like War Dog.
Yeah. Or he'll make movies. And make heroes out of people that were murdering people in their own land. All those sniper movies. These different, the SEAL Team this and Delta Squad this. And wait a minute, but wasn't this an illegal war where there was no weapons of war found and 1 million plus civilians died that were unarmed and but now then no matter all that, but then you want to make heroes out of snipers that were shooting people for fighting back because you were in my home, in my land, on my house, taking my shit from me. Yeah,
Okay.
they the fucking rat, and this is the prophets, man.
Okay, I was just making sure it's
That's
the right
that
one.
video I sent you earlier. It was folly, but it's on point. Though.
Let's go to more. It says, "The spake peaceful words unto them, but all was deceit. When they had given him credence, he fell suddenly upon the city, smote it very sore, destroyed much people of Israel."
So
Well, that's what this devil.
You got it, brother.
Well, that's what the devil did with the coronas. You know, that's what he did. He set up this plan scenario, the water. He set up this scenario to attack the Israelites. Because remember what in the beginning of this pandemic, they was attacking. What did it say? Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. It said just like that.
Yes.
Blacks, Latinos, and
Yes.
Native Americans.
And it went from Moab.
It
was all Moab, right?
Yep. Right.
And it was their issue because what Trump kept saying, this Chinese disease. This
Yeah,
Chinese-
right.
And then all of a sudden, overnight,
Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, you guys have been wrong. You don't have good health insurance.
And we treated you
guys
all
are
so
getting-
wrong for so many years
We're gonna put
that
you
we're
first
going to
now.
give you something
You
now.
can be
We're gonna
first.
put you first.
The nigga called it, one either might call it medical reparations.
Yes, he sure did.
We called it
And
that
it-
wasn't double. The
It's double speak. I don't know what it is because you know what? You're gonna reparate. First of all, it's not a fucking amount of money on this planet you can pay to pay back for what you fucking
And
done.
then if they could give us America after the water fucked up,
Yeah,
the air is
right.
fucked up, the soil is fucked up, the food is fucked up. You get sick just from going outside. They tag the skies today. That's why it's so cold right now.
Yes,
It's cold because they won't lay off spraying that shit. You know,
it is unnatural.
You know,
That's it. And then but next week Sunday is supposed to be 70. Esau's the goddamn devil, man.
yeah. So why? Because and you know, in the men of the Lord, are calling them out and they butthurt because they've been found out that they the rat.
You want me to play
Play
it?
the rat.
All right, let me play it. Check it out, Shemai. Well, it's not really. You don't have to worry about that, but watch.
Oh,
This is how we should be treated.
it's funny.
You motherfucking fat. Quit telling motherfucking all my rat. Tell your fat ass.
Last round.
You motherfucking fat.
He's been identified.
That's Esau, and that's how he feels, man. When the prophets are reading these scriptures, real talk, man. These scriptures are coming out, these definitions are coming out. You know, and they sit up and they get mad and they hateful, man. But they ain't nothing but a bunch of rats, and they've been found out, man.
Right.
You know, you was a rat in a bow tie with a suit on, but we found out you was a whole fucking rat, man. The whole time.
That's right. That's right.
Bring it out, brother. He got a point. You got a point.
And Kanasa been holding it for a minute too. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Knox.
No, you got it.
There's a quote from Voltaire. If you want to know who controls you, look at who you are not allowed to criticize.
That's right.
The rats.
Perfect.
The small hat rats.
That's right.
All right,
And
go
even
ahead,
to this
brother.
day, you can't even say certain things on the tube, in person, whatever, because you say. Remember, we was out there preaching on the red line in Roosevelt, and we said, you know, he must. You said he must be a FAGGOT, whatever. Right. But when he went to go tell the Popo. The Popo came was actually going to give us some shit until we said no, we didn't say he was. We said you must. We used double speak on this. And no, he said you must be or you might be. You know, at the BAM, and he said, well, okay, you can do shit with that because we didn't say a direct attack.
Right.
And so then he went and cussed. The Popo cussed out the guy out, and Yak was behind him, like, Dude was so mad that he started saying, but look, how the Popo said, if you don't keep on, I'm gonna take your ass and lock your ass up. And we would just glorify you how much you know.
You know, it's like that incident that happened in which the news tried to fabricate the story when that event that happened in the San Francisco camp about 5-6 years ago.
Right.
When that woman came up, put her hands on the brother,
Right.
and then
They did the cut and paste.
and then he pushed her away and she fell down, and that's the part that they tried to show
Right.
on the news.
Right.
And that's
That's
to show
double
that
speak
she
too.
came up and hit and spit on them before that.
And they didn't
right?
show that.
And then they didn't show that part. And the
Mhm.
fact that she went to jail.
That's right.
And that was your media.
That's your double speak.
Blatantly lying, trying to
Right.
condemn
Yep.
the brothers. They showed the brother pushing her to the ground, but they didn't show that she came up and hit and spit in his face.
Mhm.
All right.
And then come down. People actually went to look for the original video and found out that the media was full of shit.
Yeah,
So
it backfired on
It
them.
backfired on them.
It backfired on
There was
them.
an Edomite that reposted it with the whole thing about the feminist shit.
They posted on
It's-
Pornhub. Somebody posted
Yep.
that video on
Oh,
Pornhub.
yeah.
That's right.
The title was like, "You want to see some black dudes fucking white women, some weird shit," and that's what it
I
was.
came up on that.
I was not searching for that video. I wasn't searching that topic.
Somebody woke up from that.
That shit weird.
Hey,
You know what?
Yeah.
Right.
Somebody looking for
Somebody, hey, you
nuts.
see, you can't do
That
nothing
must
against
be a
it.
sound from God.
I gotta stop beating up.
A man went, took a shower, opened up his Bible. Hey, we laughing about it. Might be some dude come forward, be like, yeah, that was good.
Man, this truth is
Bring it
beautiful.
out, buddy.
Oh, this is-
with the double speak. This is Proverbs chapter 18, verse 21. Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof.
That's it.
All right, hey man, it's like death and life in the power of the tongue, man. All they speak is death, man. That double speak, man.
Right.
What'd you
Yeah.
say?
Yeah, I got you said that forked tongue because it's in the powdered tongue.
Yeah.
I got this right here. This is from Grammophobia. It says, speaking with a forked tongue, what is the origin of to speak with a forked tongue? Does the expression come from the snake that tricked Eve in eating the forbidden fruit?
Mm.
Well, it goes back to the scriptures, which is through the spirit. The expression, but they don't got the right breakdown. The expression was probably inspired by the forked tongue of the serpent in the Garden of Eden, one of the earliest examples of the phrase forked tongue. In the deceptive sense, alludes to the passage in Genesis. Then it has this English poet here says the image of a forked tongue has been used figuratively in English for hundreds of years to mean an intent to deceive.
That's right.
The earliest record example we've seen is from Magnificence, a morality play written around 1516 by the English poet John Skelton. This is words paint. It says paint to a purpose good countenance I can, and craftily can I grope how every man is minded. My purpose is to spy and point every man. My tongue is with fable, that means cunning, forked and time, and that's a portion of his poetry. That was an Edomite that did this. So he was making that that whole trait, all that spirit goes back to the serpent. Man.
Real quick, could you just read the caption of that, Ariella? Because it's a small caption. It's a very quick caption.
Con, it said,
This is from Gad.
right, Chief Ten Bears. It's sad that governments are chiefed by the double tongues.
He said the governments are chiefed, meaning led by the double tongue. It's not no government out here on rule. That ain't no government nowhere on the planet that's not ruled by double tongue,
And that
except
guy
the
in
government
video,
of the
and
Lord.
that government, and I mean that guy confirmed it.
Yeah.
He said if you don't speak, that you won't be taken serious in the business world, in the world of politics, or in the world of the law. If you don't speak this way,
You don't know the lingo.
right? Because they'll be like, well, no, you speaking too forward. No, you're no good to us,
That's it. You don't know the lingo.
right? Because they can't send a representative out there to talk to you, because then you will reveal to you be like the dude who got you. That was his first and last time.
That's it.
You know, bring it out, brother.
This is 2 Corinthians 13 and 8. 2 Corinthians 13 and 8. It says, what we can do is nothing against the truth, but for the truth.
That's right.
Even though these devils, they'll use their double tongue and lie. Hey, that's just another example showing you how Esau Edom is, man. It's going to work against them because the Lord's going to lift up the skirt from them, and they're going to be made an example, and everybody's going to know that this is the liar of the earth, man. Esau Edom.
That's right, brother. He's gonna lift up his skirt and expose it. Like, look, look
Look
at
at
this
this. Look at the
dude.
stinky bitch.
He didn't grow up. His rod didn't grow up to work the rest of him. Look at this motherfucker. Still a kid.
This is John 8:44.
Perfect.
It said, ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. He was a
And
murderer.
it's like in the lust. If you go into was it Thessalonians and so forth, it says you're drawn away from the lust. He said, don't say you're tempted of the Most High. No, when you go off, you're drawn away by the lust of your heart, what your desires and your lust of your mind. So that's what gets you. So when he said you're like the Satan of your father, read it again. Going after the lust. Yeah.
Esau got that brain spirit. What he tell Pinky every time?
Yeah, trying to take over the world.
The world.
He wants to rule over every damn thing.
What we do every time.
It says, ye are of your father, the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. I got another one too. After this, it said he was a murderer from the beginning and abode not in the truth. Right? It says because there is
So
no
like you
truth.
said, abode not in the truth. The word abode means to live, to abide, to dwell in. So when it come down to the truth, yeah. So the truth to Esau is like a hot potato. He can't hold it for too long. So he'll use it just enough to make you say, "Oh, look, I got the potato." And as soon as you're, "Oh, okay, gotta get that hot shit off of me," back to the line. And since you get just enough to get you to listen to it. Go ahead.
It says he abodes not in the truth because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. And like the scriptures also go into how he's the anointed chariot that covers. He said, and the Lord has made him so. He was made to be this way, man. This dude is made crooked. And like the scriptures also say, who could make a crooked thing straight? Hey, this dude is off. The scriptures also say the spirit that is in him is not upright in him, man. This dude is off. You know what I'm saying? So when you dealing with this man, you can't expect nothing but all things that are contrary to righteousness when you're dealing with this dude, man.
Well, we know,
right?
Like you said, all the good he speaks, expect the opposite.
Expect the opposite. Right.
Yep. Well, I just to go along with what the brothers are saying, this is Proverbs 29:12. If a ruler hearken to lies, all his servants are wicked.
That's it.
Hey, and what manner of the ruler of the city is, so are the people. So everybody that's under this being hypnotized by the lies of this devil, you all fucked up, man. You know, they all have that do as thou will spirit because they are just like their father, the devil. This is Sirach 20 and 25. A thief is better than a man that is accustomed to lie, but they both shall have destruction and heritage. And that goes right with Proverbs, the 19th chapter. False witness shall not be unpunished, and basically a man that speaketh lies shall perish. All right, so hey, though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not go unpunished, man. All right, everybody that's joined unto this devil, that's with his philosophy, that's with his lies and deception, you gonna fall right with his ass, man.
That's it.
Right. So that's why it says, "Who will pity
Charmer.
gets bit."
The Bible put in Sirach 12 and 16, and all this is good. We could have went up a little bit more in that. I never trust your enemy, so forth. But it says, an enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit. He will weep with his eyes, but when he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. That's Esau to the core.
The
right?
so-called white man.
Mm-hmm.
That's him.
That's it.
Hey, man, that's an OJ song. They smile in your face all the time. They want to
That's
take your
it.
place.
Backstab.
All of the temptation the whole time. Damn, that's the OJ.
Yeah.
Shit.
Hey, what's the scripture they say? If you do it,
He did do unwilling. Somebody had pulled it up, and then nobody brought it out. Though. Someone get real quick. We did. Yeah, it got brought out. It's just
This is now this is going into Cain, right? This is what the Lord told Cain. This is Genesis 4:7. Cain is Esau, okay? Reincarnated.
Yeah.
He'd have an ear, let him hear. All right, this is Genesis 4:7. If thou doest well, shall thou not be accepted?
Come on, man.
And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door.
And this is the root of what's right and what's fucking wrong. Right? Because you got it.
Cain knew the proper sacrifice to give to the Lord.
Yes, he did.
But he chose not to do that.
Yep.
That's Esau. He casted his words behind him. Hey, finish that verse out real quick. Yep. If thou Genesis 4:7, if thou doest well, shall thou not be accepted? And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door. And unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him. So that's the devil. He's the ruler of sin. All right, and right after he got this warning, he went and killed his brother. Right. The first murder. That's just Esau, man. He's meant to be. Hey, this is Psalm 58. It's his lot, man. This is Psalm 58. I'm gonna start at 1. To the chief musician authorship, Mitcham of David, do ye indeed speak righteousness, O congregation? Do ye judge uprightly, O ye sons of men? Yet in heart ye work wickedness, ye weigh the violence of your hands in the earth. The wicked are estranged from the womb, they go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. Their poison like the poison of a serpent. They're like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ear, which now hearken to the voice of charmers, charming never so wisely.
That's it.
So, hey, that's who Esau is by nature. He's a liar from nature, and he's the ruler of sin. He's the wicked one, man. He's the master deceiver.
Right.
You know, he knows how to use to play on your heartstrings, all to get you to do wickedness.
Right. All to have you
be like him.
Indirectly worshiping him, indirectly being about death, indirectly being about wickedness.
Right.
Here it is. You think you're doing good.
He'll have your money. He'll be funneling your money, and he'll use payments from you, and he'll use catchphrases that play on the emotions of people to get money and make it sound like it's a good thing. And I'll give you the perfect example: child support. All right. When it tells you right there, and you can look this up on any child support manual in any state, it will tell you in their own bylaws that child support was never intended for the benefit of the child. It was intended for the treasury of the state.
Damn.
Because the treasury gets paid.
That's why
that's what it comes down to immediately. That's why my shit is taking so long. I went too hard on them and I exposed the offshore bank accounts.
Perfect.
That's what really fucked them up. They're the offshore bank accounts. So if they basically all the judges and all the higher up officers of the court are getting paid, they're getting kickbacks from it.
And they call them rears. See,
exactly. In the
rear. When you have child support, the part of the child support will go to the woman, the kid, whatever. But then you have rears, and your rears can get up to like my rears is thousands. I mean, like thousands of rears. The rears don't go to the family, the mother, or the child. The rears go to the state. Exactly what you're talking about.
That's why they call that the darling of the court. You know, because they get
that's
free money.
So exposing that fraud
big bang.
is hurtful to them, and that's basically, what I did. And as a result of that, we got this stalemate.
It's at the bottom of the list. Your case is going to get. It's on the to-do list, but it's at the bottom, and it's like
I've never heard this shit.
Several thousand cases above.
My case has been in the judge's queue for 2 years now.
We'll get to this one later.
And so they just keep putting it.
Damn him
again.
Right.
I got a quick one.
That's fucked up, man.
This is actually a precept to that Maccabees, first Maccabees, but this plays a part. This is Daniel 8:25. And through his policy, also he shall cause craft to prosper
in
his hand.
Title 4D. You people know it is child support, and it's fraud. And it's just using it as an example of how wicked these people are.
See, but
it was never ratified. It was never put into positive law. Therefore, it's not law. They're enforcing something that's not even law, and then they violate your civil rights because they bypass the judicial system. Part of the judicial system is the way they're supposed to enforce it. As a matter of fact, each individual is supposed to be brought into court, and they're supposed to determine what you can pay and if you can even afford to pay, because they're supposed to take into consideration anything that you already have, right? And then your livelihood. And they don't do that at all. What they bypass that whole portion. That's where the fraud comes in, because they bypass that whole portion. And they just look at the bottom line of what you make, and they take according to that, and they don't even. So they skip past their own by all the stuff that they got written. They don't even do that.
That's right.
So by doing that, you're getting misrepresentation. They're violating your civil rights. They're violating the Constitution. So they actually break the law to enforce it, and that's facts.
So to break down,
I know they hate me even more for saying that.
And the word that he just used in the scripture, through his policy, also he calls it
through his policy.
But the craft, though, that craft word means fraud. So through his policy, also he shall cause fraud to prosper in his hand.
Which is got by deceit.
The rich is gotten by deceit, but the craft is the fraud, which is that skill.
Goes back to that double speak.
Everything.
So it's done in their documentation as well.
That's why I call
And then,
witchcraft.
matter of fact, that's it. That's double speak because it's saying that it's for one thing, but it's really for another because it's like you said, it was never intended for the benefit of the children. It was intended to for the state treasury.
You know what? I don't know how if there are many toll roads across America.
You look at that. See, Elder Tawada for making the video on child support and the channel of Amin Osiris, destroyer of Title 40D, and stating that your friend and that your friend got his driver's license back by fighting back, and he did. He's talking about Gerald. Gerald got his driver's license back. So the shit is real. You know, you really can't fight it. You just got to know what the fuck you're doing.
But that's a
But
part
now,
of Esau's
but now, you know, you fight it too well, and you end up like me. So it's still because it's just like Yaki said. Now they just saying, well, fuck our law, fuck all that. We the man, and what you gonna do about it?
Exactly.
We the devil. All right,
Now
we just gonna admit it. We the devil, and so there it is, and that's basically where we are.
Can I bring something? It's Micah 2:1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hands.
Beautiful scripture, and that's exactly what because it's in the power of their hand. And now that they're exposed and they caught, they like, you got us.
Yep.
We the devil. Well, we got all the guns. So what you gonna do? That's right. Because you know what?
That's it.
There's an entity that's all powerful, and his name is Yahushua.
Right.
We ain't gonna do shit.
I got a verse.
He is.
Right.
All right. And you ain't gonna be able to do
He ain't gonna
nothing.
meet you as a man.
That's right. You ain't gonna be able to do nothing to stop him. He gonna end all your craftiness, all your crafty counsels, all your secret meetings. All that's coming to an end, man.
Bringing the light to all that darkness.
What's up? This Ecclesiastes 5:8.
Oh, that's spirit.
My name. That thou seest the oppression of the poor and violent perverting of judgment and justice in the proud, marvel not at the matter, for he that is higher than the highest regardeth, and there be higher than they.
Amen.
That's perfect.
The eyes of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua are in every place beholding the evil.
10,000 times brighter than the sun. And the Gospels say that and their angels behold each one of their angels behold the face of the Heavenly Father. So when you go and put his case to the bottom of the queue, every a couple of weeks when it comes back to the top of the queue, the Lord sees that and you're fucked. And everybody who's imparting to that is fucked because you're hurting another person, a son of the Heavenly Father, just as you killed and bruised Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Right? He said, touch, say it again, brother.
Touch not my anointing, do my prophets no harm.
That's right. So if you do so, there is a wet recompense coming with it.
He that toucheth you,
Touches me.
the apple of his eye.
Right.
You know you don't fuck up.
And everybody knew a family or that guy that had that one big brother, and everybody didn't fuck with that person because of his brother.
His brother.
Right.
Yahushua, baby.
That's right.
Son,
Yeah,
we got the ultimate big brother. Hey, we got the ultimate big brother. You don't want none.
When you gonna get it all?
Do you want some of this, old man?
No. Coming down here. Messing with you.
And H-Rail, you're absolutely right. The devils don't follow their own demonic laws because their laws were made for us. They don't even follow the there's a law that
and that's evidence of it.
Right.
I'm living proof of it.
Yep.
That shit. That I wasn't supposed, and it makes them angry too.
Yep.
It's like, who is this nigga
that keep on?
That
who's this nigga on that
Right. It's
Who
like,
is this
he's
nigga
coming up in our
on that net?
We got all we done all paid. We done paid out thousands of hundreds of thousands of dollars to get all these damn degrees and shit. You know, and coming in just and cut their shit wide open like that. Then expose their damn offshore bank accounts.
That's it.
They're like, hold on.
But that's how you should
He's
see
doing
the
too much.
hypocrisy in Esau, because the last president proved that he clearly broke laws. But since he's basically getting off on technicalities, that's why nobody's upset, because they understand that those rules and those laws were made to oppress you. They never believe it applied to them. That's why everybody's turning a blind eye to actual laws being broken.
Well, because that's not the laws that they got in the states and stuff. They're not the real laws. Their own laws break the federal laws. Guess what? Because
The
the federal laws,
the state laws
break the federal law.
You actually break the federal law.
That's right.
All day long, every day.
In many ways.
You got states that's doing shit that's completely against the
federal,
Constitution.
yes, exactly.
Title 4D is one of them.
That's exactly.
Just one of many.
That's because the real law of the lands as run on the UCC is the Universal Commercial Code. And if you don't know that code, don't know how to talk the code, all right, the double speak. You don't know the language. You don't know.
And they actually use the UCC code to clear people credit,
Yep.
right? And then if you don't know how to talk to them,
The UCC codes are unlimited. I
Yeah.
think it's like because you're talking about the law of the sea. The Uniform Maritime Law. So they're gonna find you get caught up in court system. That's why they want to try to get you when you go into that court. And I learned about that. When you see that flag that has all those fringes around it, you are in a maritime court. You are not governed by the U.S. Constitution. It's all a fucking fraud, man. Because every time I went into a courtroom, that's all you see. You'll see the flag, and you'll see when I read that and when I heard about it, and then I start looking around, and that's what you see. You see that flag with all them yellow fringes around, which means you're being governed by maritime law. All right, that's why you need a lawyer.
Yep.
All right, because they used to teach civil law in school.
That's right.
All right, that's why a lot of them old heads, especially them older Edomites from the South, they knew that law. They took it in school. All through grade school and high school, they were learning law. So they knew that's why they would stand on their porch and cuss them cops out and them damn sheriffs and shit and tell them get off my land and all that because they didn't need a lawyer to go into the court system. And now, since what they're doing now is that this whole lawyer thing has become an economy within itself.
Oh, yeah.
All right, it's become an economy. So that's why it's a money making scheme by bringing the maritime law into it. So if Americans really knew and understood what was being done to them, they would have rioted and burned this bitch down, destroyed the government, and set up a new government.
Especially the Patriots.
70, 80 years.
Especially the Patriots.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. They would have been.
But you know what? A lot of the Patriots is new, but it just wasn't enough for them because the rest of the motherfuckers around them was dumb as fuck.
Yes.
It's like, right. And so if everyone understood what we're talking about now, they would have been burned down the White House and rebuilt it. They would have got rid of the government and put up a new one already. But prophecy had to play out. So that's why that never happened. But because you see what happens in all these foreign nations, when they fuck over the people, they go right at their government, man. But Americans have been docile, dumbed down, and don't know shit. That's right. And you looking on the screen at two different flags. You're looking at an American flag, and then you're looking at a maritime flag. And the one on the right with the yellow fringes about it, that's the one you always see in the courtrooms when you go in there. And so what that means when you walk into there, you're being judged under maritime law and not under the United States Constitution, which is in the way. I always talk about there's two documents, both important. One is way more important. The most important one is the Bible.
That's right.
All right. And then the next thing that's in the way of this whole NWO is the Constitution. That's why they want to get rid of it. Their whole plan is to because the one lady said with this fourth industrial revolution, which is the MOTV,
the tech,
revolution by connecting humans to the tech through the MOTV. She already said we're gonna need a new digital constitution.
Yes, she did.
She said that. Said we're gonna need a new digital constitution because now that you have now that they'd be able to own you and now have patents on you and all other kind of shit. The Constitution is not the moment that they crash this system and go digital. It's a fucking wrap. It's a wrap.
I got a precept. I got two in the chamber real quick. It's Daniel chapter 7, verse 25. And he shall speak great words against the Most High and shall wear out the saints of the Most High.
And those great words is part of that craft. That's that double speak.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Those great words, pomp is what I'm like. We landed on the moon, bitch. You never went to the motherfucking moon.
Hey, you can't get past Leo, man. All right,
that's
which
right.
is lower Earth orbit. You've never been past
It's a
Leo.
layer that you can't.
That they can't go past it. Their satellites sit just in Leo. They can't go past that. So
they can't get close to it.
So that's all a lie, man.
They say it's too much radiation.
No, that's in the Van Allen belt. They sit in Leo. They can go to Leo. That's where they go to. They go to Leo. Their space stations are sitting in Leo.
Right.
All right. They can't go past that.
As far as they go.
All right. So anyone saying, you know, that they put that shit on TV all the time. They fucking liars, man. And the truth is out there, and they still keep pushing that lie. But that's what they do. Just like the big C word. All the destruction and the damage that came, like we said, the medicine did more damage to the people, and it's doing more damage to the people than the disease itself. But yet they keep pushing it. When you need to go back and you need to go get more medicine. They keep pushing that lie. And they keep getting exposed, and the more they get exposed, the harder they push the lie, man. Same thing why they keep wanting to attach black before Hebrew Israelites.
Yeah.
All right, when it's just the Hebrew Israelites, and we come in basically we're all over the world, man. I see pale flesh Edomites all the time, in person and on TV, on the internet. The spirit identifies who they are, which is something y'all can understand. That Filipino church, been talking about him for a while, man. I got a couple Israelite foreigners that come on my page all the time, man. There's one that's went on one. His last name is Wong. He's been on my page for about 4 or 5 years now. That Wong guy, man. And the dude. So why would a guy with the last name Wong be subscribed to all my channels, be watching these videos all the time, and then commenting and saying Yahweh Shema Shabrakatah for 5 fucking years? The spirit bears witness, man. And I got some pale girl from the damn Appalachian mountains in the south with a hillbilly ass family. She identifying with this truth, and said, "Hey, I've been blackballed by my whole family because I told them that we've been lied to. The Lord ain't a white man."
Get this white child here.
What's wrong with you?
She's the devil.
Hey, Vocab, you can't stop this, man. Hey, Vocab, you ain't stopping this, man. Your weak ass videos, what you trying to do, it's over with for you.
Puny video.
It's shit weak. Like, yeah. And Revelation 11:11, the Spirit, the Lord. Let me get.
Didn't even been trying to rock a beard.
I know that's funny.
As of lately,
yeah, that's funny.
He done took his he uncovering his head. He been convicted. I seen him where he's not wearing his head covered and he's wearing a beard now all of a sudden.
I thought about that too.
Which proves what we doing is right, because he said the Jesuits came to him, and the FBI came to him, which really put him on to the Israelites, and he took a job with them pretty much.
Well, he said that in a joking manner,
right? God.
But we know the whole the double speak, right? That what's the word? What was the word? A comedia or comedia?
Comedia belief.
Food for thought.
No, comedia.
Oh, comedia. All right, basically means the truth in comedy.
That's right.
God.
When people tell a joke, you know, but they really telling the truth, which is what comedians do for the most part.
They had the truth in comedy.
I got this right here. This said it's a psychoanalysis. Jokes are one of the 5 formations of the unconscious, alongside with failed acts, word slips, dreams, and symptoms. And the word slips are called Freudian slips.
That's right.
And it says Freud even wrote an entire book just about it, jokes and his relation to the unconscious. All right, and that's, you know, Yahweh Shai said it best. I'm gonna pull it up right now. This is Matthew. Yep. This is Matthew chapter 12 and 34. O generations of vipers, how can you being evil speak good things? Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaking. You know, so that's your Freudian slips. You know, you tell the truth in your comedy. You know, that's all that. Man, your sarcasm, people usually use those things to deliver an uncomfortable message or tell you the truth, but taking heat off themselves.
There's a classic scene off of an old TV show called Barney Miller, where the guy is going into secret societies and this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. They got all kinds of laugh tracks on it.
Laugh track behind every time you see something.
That's the C too, because a lot of those were not fielding no live audience, and so they're priming you to laugh. And they're telling you what's funny by having that laugh track on that shit.
They did it
because he talked about the Council on Foreign Relations, the Trilateral Commission. He talked about all of them, and all those are ran by small hatters, and how they were taking over. They were taking over the money system and taking over government, and they want to set up a new world order.
When one of the cab drivers always
they lied. They even said that was false. And they said
even in here it says.
And they said that that was made to try to belittle the small hatters But yet, when you read the information in the book, it's right out their playbook. Everything that they're doing, have been doing, and are doing.
Yep.
And that happens to be, what was it, the protocols of the learned elders? Come. And they say, oh, the author of that book was just trying to defame us. And no, the author of that book was one of you, and he told the truth.
That's it.
Just like Arthur Koestler did. That's why he and his wife held hands and jumped face first to their death when they fought for.
After they had a new contract too.
After they signed a new contract for their new book, you know, they decided to swan dive face first
Right.
in their London condo on the
And,
fourth floor.
well, they do forensic studies and shit. If they land the face first, they didn't commit suicide.
They were pushed.
Yep. If you land,
Wrong.
I forget the science for it.
Your body
They
wants to do it.
they tell you how you died.
Most
based
people
off
jump to
your-
their death, jump this way, right? Flat to their back.
Yep.
They don't want to see it, and they just fall.
Yep. They try to stop and brace themselves. Yep. They jump with their feet first.
First, right.
They jump feet first because you're not just gonna jump and dive.
Right.
You still got a fear factor to it. So more than likely they were murdered. You don't get land face first.
That's it.
They study all the Esau studies, all that shit, how you died to prove that.
Well, you know what?
Forensic.
I remember listening to a radio show where two guys, two of the few people who survived jumping off the Golden Gate Bridge. And the one dude jumped off of it and halfway down decided, fuck, I don't want to die. And while he was falling, he tried to straighten up and hit the water straight. And when his feet he didn't turn his feet down. He hit flat and it broke both his legs, broke his hips, and fucked him up. But he lived. Right. And there was another guy listening on the radio and heard it, and he did the same thing like 30 years earlier. So this old man went and found him. But I remember listening to that on the YouTube, and he was talking about, because he was a don't commit suicide advocate person guy. But you absolutely right. Because they both, after they jumped, like, fuck, man, I really don't want to die. Shit, I want to live. You know?
Fuck.
Oh, shit. Right. And man, and Golden State.
Why did they do that?
That's a long fall.
Yeah, it's a long fall, man. That water's like concrete. You hit it sideways on the angle, it's like hitting the ground, man. So and not only on top of that too, that's some of the choppiest water. So even if you did survive it, the chances you getting swept out to sea and just drowning is very highly likely. And then that's a heavily shark infested water on the other side of that bridge. Once you get blown out to that current, a number of great whites do that. Right? Because all of them don't make it in because of the current. They don't feel like fucking with that current. So they just stay out and so
whatever comes out.
Right. And some come out there, they like
fast food.
Dinner time. You know?
Din.
Fast food for real.
Can I take your order, please? Give me an Edomite, slightly bloody. I want him bloody the way he like his steak.
Right. So no, that's truth in that, man. But you have some when you finish in the scripture.
I have a scripture. It's called forensic pathology.
Forensic pathology, right?
Yep. Oh, but see, but you know what he has to, because first of all, he wants to be as if he's God.
Diligent search.
He wants to be as if he's God. That's the reason why his double speak leads you to worship him, because he wants to be worshipped. He wants to be adored, but he don't want to do it by saying, "I'm God, worship me." He wants you to do it craftily. You know what I'm saying? He wants you to make that your own deduction.
Bring that down. Somebody's speaking about the military.
No. I answered the brother's question. That was the brother H-Rail again. He said, when a law enforcement officer and military personnel has the American flag on them, but is facing the opposite position, it's just simple as behind that. And I've heard that before.
That means the troops that America will never retreat.
Say it again?
That America will never retreat.
So now,
opposite position, there's symbolism behind that. I know that if you wear it backwards, that means you're in distress, so you're at war.
Right.
Something to that effect. Yeah. If you wore it upside down, that means you're against the system or some shit like that.
Upside down.
It's a couple of things. And now the article that you'll see, the most thing that they'll say, which is I posted for the brother, just was how they said it's for, it looked like when someone's coming forward, like the flag is moving, waving about the bam. I don't believe really half of that shit. And then the flag that they had on there is an admiral flag too. Mm-hmm. It's still got the fringes around. So they're agents. They're still agents of.
There you go.
Of the Admiralty.
So basically, the American way is all a lie because they're not enforcing the American way in America. They haven't been for a very long time. Put that flag up again from that soldier.
I was just about to-
It looked like it was yellow around it.
Yeah, that's it. That's why I was pulling it up. Yeah.
Holy damn!
Yes.
Wow, that's fucking heavy, man. That's a soldier or police officer.
That's a soldier.
The soldier. They walk around through the airport.
Damn.
That's how my flag was.
Fuck.
See, people don't pay attention to it because they don't know, and they're not gonna break it down to you unless you're on a level.
That's wild, man.
Mhm.
Because that's
We
one.
didn't have that movie.
Hey, because I don't remember seeing that
We
shit,
haven't
man.
had
I don't
one
remember
movie
seeing that. And
I
look,
wasn't there.
because you know everybody when you go in the military, when you join the law enforcement, FBI, any of that, you have to say that creed.
Right.
Basically that you ready to bleed your blood to uphold and fight for the Constitution. So clearly these new school motherfuckers, I don't know what they got them saying.
Man.
You know.
What
They clearly,
they
they,
say?
well, you know what? Clearly, they're using a whole lot of double speak
There you go.
when they taking their oath. All right,
True that.
you know how the doctors take that oath, how they not.
The Hippocratic oath. I just thought about that.
And so,
I just thought about
because
that.
a lot of them, when it came to this whole disease and the C word,
They threw that shit out.
they threw that shit out. Yeah,
They said, well, we about to die.
I got 3 steps to that.
bring it out, brother.
That goes right into I was holding. This is Job 13:4. But ye are forged of lies.
Mhm.
Ye are all physicians of no value. So this is what they've been doing. You know what I mean? Esau's whole agenda is to continue his lies, and he hired these scapegoat physicians to keep up the mockery and the foolishness. They won't never change their they are.
Oh, they're not gonna
They
change.
can't.
No.
They can't. This is what they do. You know what I mean?
I mean, they'll do it. They'll tell you through the movies.
Right.
They'll do it through through comedy.
Hey, I was watching the Forever Purge, and that movie, and you know, I watched it the first time, you know, but I watched it, you know, and really watched it. You know, when you watch, you always get so much more out of it.
Right.
And the conversation that was going, that get rid of the brownie shit, man. That and basically they was talking about Northern and Southern Kingdom, man. Point blank period. That's what that movie is deep as fuck, man.
And then they show you
The political shit that's going on in the background. Number 3, and
also show you
what? Yeah, was it number 3? Election year.
Yeah.
That one, and
This
the
is
last one.
yeah.
The political shit going on in those 2 movies.
Show you what's
Because I'm
going
planning on
on.
watching them again to take notes so I can do a lesson.
Mhm.
I was like, God damn, they was. I didn't even realize how much.
Mhm.
You know.
Going, huh?
And they also showing you in the last one that they know about the Israelite foreigners, because the dude that went with them that was fighting against the Edomites who was trying to chase Jake down, he was fighting with the northern and the southern kingdom, and they accepted him as one of them because he actually, like the scripture say, every man will cleave unto his life.
Right.
You know, so he was actually an Israelite foreigner.
Yeah.
You know.
God, I got that.
It made me think of
him and his sister.
It made me think of my friend.
They wasn't fucking with the shit that Esau was on.
Yeah, they wasn't on that shit.
They was completely against it, you know.
It just made me think how the speckled bird is going to come in.
They
A
coming
lot
in now
because
ain't no, they coming in, brother.
That's it.
They coming in.
But even my friend who just passed, he after I left college with him, and he went to a master class to do whatever, and whatever he was at, he befriended another nigga. You know, Ethan, he's a so-called black man, and that was his best friend. That's why he called me to tell me that my old best friend died. You know what I'm saying? Why was he only hanging? Why he kicking with niggas? Because he a nigga.
That he was cleaving onto his life.
Hey, he said that on Class Act. They was talking about the white dude that had the dreads. He said he rap, he bean pies, he like and he black.
Jamal. Right. Right. Is that the one who had the dashiki?
Yeah, the dread.
The dreads. Right. Yeah. Jamal, that shit was funny as hell.
But it's funny.
Right, House Party 2.
Yeah.
It wasn't Class Act. House Party 2.
This is Psalms 120:3. Says, what shall be given unto thee, or what shall be done unto thee, thou false tongue? Sharp arrows of the mighty with coals of juniper. So you're just gonna get a sore, bitter destruction. So, all right, all you do is speak lies.
Juniper is nasty, man. That's why I find gin so disgusting.
Yeah.
That's the main ingredient in gin, man.
This is H-Rail put in.
Most people drink it, drink it with something, but you Edomites usually drink that shit straight.
Benjamin drinking straight too.
Man, yeah.
Hey, it was nothing bad. Love it.
I was drinking gin last night straight.
Not Tanqueray.
Bombay is
Bombay got fucking coconut in it, all kind of
Yeah, Bombay is good.
coconut pineapple. You can't go wrong with coconut and pineapple.
No.
Yeah,
Pina colada there, yeah, no. H-Rail said, as the forensics of Esau, Luke 16 and 8, and the Lord commended the unjust steward because he had done wisely. For the children of this world are in their generation wiser than the children of light. And Esau, he's the illuminated. He sees what we don't see, so he set the deck against you to lead you to his will. All right, that's why everything he say, from his media to his movies to his the radios to the songs to your newspaper publications to your books, anything that is contrary to the Heavenly Father, which promotes his agenda of worshiping him and his system of so-called freedom.
You know what, you're right. But see, now we and they live.
Yes,
see, this truth is giving us glasses.
Yes.
And so now we see
the eyesight.
Right,
yes.
we got that eyesight.
Yes.
Exactly, brother. We and they live now.
I gotta watch that
and we
tonight.
are they, and we're living. That great awakening, man, that Ezekiel 37, man. And they're being made bare. We now have those glasses, and we, even though Keith David ass still asleep, but
I know, right?
that nigga boy,
Uncle Cool.
Roddy Piper really sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and he was that was
he now in his right mind.
Yeah.
He was one of us, man.
Yeah.
I think
Roddy Piper was a nigga.
Man, you know it was.
But now, man, we see.
There you go. Now I'm not gonna play Giant.
They showed you a lot in that movie too.
They showed you a lot in this movie.
They showed you how the advertisement worked.
Yeah, obey consumers. Right there. Obey consumers.
And that's why they tried to tone it down with these crazy looking alien skeleton looking people to try to take away from the seriousness of the message in this movie.
That's it.
But we can see that them the demons. These people are demons.
Yeah.
They got spirits on them.
And this scene right here was the classic scene. Yeah. That scene was, but that's indicative how sleep.
That's how hard
when that double speak
like
gets you.
just put the glasses and just look.
That's right.
Just read the
Yes.
scripture. Listen to the
Yes.
scripture. No, man. Just listen to the scripture.
He gave the white man. He gave.
Yeah.
It's a white man's book. It's a white man's book.
Yep. But that whole fight is indicative of our fight with trying to wake up Jake, but also shows you how much damage the Newspeak has done. Jake is so stupefied, mummified, as Proverbs, was it 21:16 or 16:20? I'll get it backwards. He that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead. And that's why they live, all right? It's meaning they came into the understanding of the truth. And that's what got them out of being in a dead state. All right. That was a very spiritual and very powerful movie.
Get that
you find it. Yes,
I was gonna say grab that Isaiah scripture and that Esau being made bare. You got some Elder Quran?
Yeah. This Job 33 and 3. My word shall be of the uprightness of my heart, and my lips shall utter knowledge clearly. The Spirit of the Most High made me, and the breath of the Almighty have given me life. So, like I said, we came back live through this word.
That's it. Otherwise, you're dead. You walking dead. All right.
Leave it up to the elder to say something epic. You've been quiet all night. Then you
Drop a bomb.
That's how you do it.
And this is a Revelation 3 and 18. I counsel thee to buy of me gold tried in the fire, that thou mayest be rich, and white raiment, that thou mayest be clothed, and that the shame of thy nakedness do not appear, and anoint thine eyes with eye salve, that thou mayest see.
Because if you don't have that salve of the Heavenly Father, you are blinder than Ray Charles and Stevie Wonder put together.
He gave us that eye salve to see in the dark. Elder Apostle Gabar brought that out. How about the owl? And now we see through the darkness of Esau's life.
That's it.
I got something real quick.
Bring it up.
And we got those lion eyes. We got them cat eyes.
The eye salve is the same thing as the Harukakodash, which is the Holy Spirit. Okay, this is John 14 and 17. Even the Spirit of truth, whom the world cannot receive. See, this is why Jake don't understand what's going on, because they see the double speak
is really a stumbling block for the 2/3 in the rest of the world. We can see through the double speak. So it says that even the spirit of truth, whom the world cannot receive, because it seeth him not, neither knoweth him, but ye know him, for he dwelleth with you and shall be in you. So we see it, we understand what's going on. That's why you got the spirit of the Lord upon the brothers is making these videos. It's the rest of the world that can't receive. You know, that's the eye salve. The eye salve is to get us. That's why the eye salve is that we can see through the dark. Okay, we the right hand side of the Illuminati. You know,
that's it.
Yeah, that's what Luke says after you became illuminated.
Yep.
That's it. That's right.
This is some thoughts.
Yeah, this is Matthew 11:25. At that time, Yahushua answered and said, I thank thee, O Father, Yahweh of heaven and earth, because thou hast hid these things from the wise and prudent, and hast revealed them unto babes. This is us. And we got to be thankful that Yahushua opened our brain up to even be able to receive this and understand it and comprehend it.
Yeah, Peter said these things the angels desire to look into, man.
That's it.
You know, we really getting this truth and we're willing with being with elect. Being elect is being placed above angels. It's directly under Yahushua. We get to see this. What you were at Mark 4?
No, Matthew 11:25.
This is Mark chapter 4 and verse Salaki, bear with me. Like 15. Salaki.
It's okay, brother.
While he's getting that, get that Jeremiah right. Get
Jeremiah
that
what?
Away. 49 and 10, I think.
Jeremiah.
49 and 10.
Jeremiah, you have it now?
I got it.
I got it right now.
I got the Matthew. You gonna end on Jeremiah?
Well, we'll end it on that one. So you got it. Go ahead, brother.
This Matthew 13 and 16. But blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear. For verily I say unto you that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see those things which you see, and have not seen them, and to hear those things which you hear, and have not heard them. So even the prophets of old, who are righteous men, they didn't have even this understanding we have now. They couldn't see as much as the Lord has revealed even unto us now. So how much more the people in the world, they can't see shit, man.
That's it.
You know, this is a real blessing to have this. It says the world walk on in darkness, man.
That's right.
You know, but we can see. You know, this light is here.
That's it.
They groping right now, man.
Gross darkness to the people. And it's funny you say that, because going back to the scripture he read before about the eye salve, and I pulled it up, and it goes into a little poultice or whatever. It just made me think of the when Yahushua was dealing with the blind guy, and he said he couldn't see, and he said he said, yeah, he see man's as trees, but to my knowledge, then he spit on the ground, and he made a poultice. He made a concoction and put it on his eyes. It was on, right. It was eye salve, and the end result was after the eye salve, you know, he was a little blurry. Then one more time, then he was able to see. Right? Yeah, the scales of his eyes. Yeah, the scales of his eyes. But that's that eye salve. See, that's it. That's right. With the whole bird droppings that came into the eye.
But he had with his father, like you said, he had to do the liver of the fish to make that
demon go away. It seems like that.
See the other rest of the fish to take for his father.
Yeah, for his eyes, right? See, that's how cold the Most High is, man. And it's parabolic for when you don't have the truth. You're blind. The Lord tells us that they walk on in darkness. Yeah. All the foundations of the earth are out of course. So I make a similitude by saying people out there, you know, dancing up, they're doing this and shit, eyes closed, up there hooping, shooting pool, and just blind in the motherfucker.
And that's why in Second Ezra it talks about how this world hastens fast to pass away, and cannot comprehend the things that are promised to the righteous in the time to come. You see, when you about this world, the philosophies of this world, the deceit of this world, then that blinds your mind, your inner vision to see the big picture, which is the kingdom of heaven.
That's right.
See, but if you're about this one,
the hope
then,
of this world,
right, then it blinds you to see the big picture of what the will, the ultimate will of the Father ultimately is to have. It says, "Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven." And see, that is the kingdom. That's where our mind should be, because if I can just grab this quick one here in 2 Corinthians 4:3, it says, "But if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost, in whom the God of this world have blinded the minds of them which believe not."
You know what's even worse? Yeah, those who got those close no cigar Israelites. That's they actually know the name, know the name of Yahweh, why Yahweh Shai.
Yeah.
But then they got this bugged out doctrine that don't match up with the precepts.
And that's what
that's dope. That's the scariest thing to me, man.
He said that's the one that he's going to say.
And I call them the close no cigar Israelites.
Yeah. That's the one that the Lord's going to say, Yahweh Shai did not prophesy your name and destroy demons in your name. He's going to say, I never knew you.
Right.
Away from you, work of iniquity.
That's right.
They out there sinning with their lips, man.
That's it.
You know?
Not only in their lips, but in their mind.
Or calling on the wrong name. Look, and like I said, let's get that Jeremiah.
It's right here. Can I get this one real quick? That's gonna be the last one. Right?
Go ahead, bro. Yeah, that's gonna be the last one.
So this is 1 Corinthians 4:1. Let a man so account. This 1 Corinthians 4:1. Let a man so account of us as of the ministers of Hamashiach and stewards of the mysteries of the Most High. So hey, we got the mysteries of the Most High. We are the steward. We are the management of this. Like this is the house. A steward is like someone who has control about a financial business, like
watching over something. It's not theirs, but they left in charge of it.
That's it.
Exactly.
And we're being stewards over this word by doing it directly and correctly.
You just made me think of it. Go ahead, bro.
You know, it's like if you work at a company business, everybody know who the founding and the father was, and this, that, and other. Now you all sons, and you walk through the business and whatnot. And everybody know, okay, that's one of the owner's sons.
Yeah. Oh man, Yaquab in the heat. We still good, but we should be good.
We pushed it.
But could you
just bring that out right now?
This Jeremiah 49.
No, it's still good. It's still good.
But I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places. He shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not. Esau has been made bare, man. And his secrets has been uncovered.
Right.
Or his double speak is being exposed. All right, even his own is going on TV and telling on him, man. You know, and the prophets are definitely giving Esau a spiritual ass over, man, with this word.
Man, we smacking him like that rat.
That's it.
You know.
Hey,
healed by the prophets, like it says in Hosea.
I got one little last definition to land back on Brother Landberger. But he said that we're stewards for Yahweh Shemir Shai. We are part of Yahweh Shai's legacy. When you people think of the word legacy, they go into the newspeak of the word legacy. But legacy in the actual original definition is body of persons sent on a mission. From the Latin legatus, ambassadors, envoys, or deputies. So we are, when you talk about we're the stewards of Yahweh Hashem Shai, we are part of his legacy, the legacy of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. And we're the ones sent with a commission, appointed as deputies, appointed by a last will.
It's like you said, ambassadors. Ambassadors go to other countries.
Diplomats and apostles. We're all apostles. We're sent forth. Hey, so with that, man, we're gonna give. Oh, did we read that yet?
Yeah.
We did. Yeah. So with that, we're gonna give all praises, going honor to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rekakodash.
Wa Abba Baba.
Abba Baba.
Bam Yasharala.
Bam Yasharala.